Alright, y'all. I kind of left something out of the last video, but basically it's better to explain it again in a separate video. Um uh so basically so basically this is what Sean did with the word big. He's only focusing on the fact that something is big and that it is not also small, because the fact is, like, when you're looking at something as it is big, you're comparing it to something that is smaller in order to call it big. But the problem is, it's true that things are also small, so therefore he's only looking at it in comparison to the fact of its size to another, and not the full truth of the fact that it's both big and small. So therefore he did this because he's a very selfish person, and he did this because he did not truly understand Jesus Christ at all. Um, and then he also did it because he didn't truly believe that Jesus Christ existed. And then the reason why is because he believed that God did not he it always seemed to him that God never showed up for black people because of the struggle that African Americans have gone through since coming to America, as then starting from slaves and being being slaves to masters who were then white people. Um, so therefore he decided that that all African Americans, like, once after going through school and everything, he decided that all African Americans needed to adopt his philosophy of life, because things are to be big and need to be big. Um, so therefore, he believed that they needed to adopt his philosophy of life in order to always in order to always win, because it seems so hard for African American men and women to gain some kind of justification against uh white America, simply because they struggle more than white Americans have and white people have in general, based off beginning from slavery. So therefore he tiered it this way in order for people to follow him, right? But the problem is, it's true that things are small. So it's not to undermine somebody for being small, and by saying that they're inadequate, or that they are reduced to a humiliating position. It's it's more so the fact that it's true that things are limited. And with the fact that something is small, it's like, if someone is 5'6" and another person is 5'8", then it's true that that person is small, and the 5'6" person is small. So therefore it's just true. But the problem is, when it comes to penis and vagina sizes, there's there's a certain ego to it, right? And there's a certain don't mess with me in my private parts feeling, when it comes to penis and vagina sizes, breast sizes, butt sizes, and then lip sizes as well. But then when it comes to just about sizing anything that's from a person, they feel as if they are lesser than, simply because they are smaller, right? So therefore that's then the problem. So therefore Sean just believed that everything needed to be big, because it's true that things need to be big. So therefore people didn't feel humiliated by being small. But when you are small, you are smaller than Jesus Christ. So therefore with everybody being smaller than Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ is then the only one big to them, then that's the truth. But see, the problem is that he believed that he was Jesus Christ, as everyone is smaller than him. So, so if you see what I'm saying, it's the fact that it's true that things do need to be big, right? So, so therefore, that's then kind of the problem with the fact that something is big. If something is big, something is smaller than it, right? But if it's true that Jesus Christ is then also small based off being a child that then was raised by parents and the father, as we then know, then then what's happening what's happening is that Jesus Christ is also small, so Jesus Christ knows the burden of being small, right? Because Jesus Christ was then sin, right? As we are sinners. So therefore that's it's nothing wrong with being small because objects have to be small. People have to be small. So therefore it's nothing wrong with it. But basically Sean is then saying that if all African Americans have big dicks, then they beat the white people simply because you can't beat white people because they got to the Bible first based off being masters, and they began order first when it comes to America, and just so much stuff when it comes to the oppression of from white people to African American people, and so therefore it's a problem that it's a problem that is such a struggle for African American people to become equal in standing based off an education, based off the things that people had, the things that they would have, um, in comparison to white people. So therefore, he believed that it was an impossible feat. It was an impossible, uh, I guess, an impossible way of life because it seemed as if it could never happen based off being slaves. So therefore, he believed that if everyone had a big dick, then they win in some kind of way and everything's fine. But the problem is he wants to have the biggest dick and lead everybody when size then matters for everyone, when everyone needs to be the right size, right? So therefore that's then the problem with only being big. So therefore it has to be true that you have to be small in order to achieve being the right size for everyone, because although many people will get into sexual immorality, everyone isn't the same size, and everyone can't be the same size because everyone's different. So therefore seeing something small as its glory then is glory in itself, just as seeing something as big is glory in itself, right? So therefore that's the problem. So therefore he without him understanding the truth that things are small, he believed that he was God simply because of the philosophy that he began and him having 9 inches in penis size. So so therefore that's then basically what happened. And then when it comes to women and him having sex with women and them saying God it's so big, and with him believing that they're referring to him as God because his penis is big, that's the problem, right? So therefore that's then completely the problem with only being big. So therefore things have to be both big and small. So yeah, y'all, I hope that clears everything up. And I I'm kind of stressed on these videos, so I'm really trying to make sure it's small enough in order for people to pay attention, yet detailed enough to actually understand. So yeah, y'all, I hope y'all understand I hope y'all understand this, and I hope y'all take something from it. And see y'all on the next video. Bye.